Hi, this is Kirsten Michelle, and this is Crash Course Computer History. Today we will learn how in a couple of centuries, early computers transitioned with the help of... Kirsten, is this going to be on the test? Oh, me from the past, how panicked you are. Yeah, about the test. The test will measure whether you are an informed, engaged, and productive citizen of the world. The test will judge your ability to think about things other than memes, whether you've been paying attention at all to any of the presentations for the last 2 weeks, and if you've learned anything this whole year, and if you can use all that to analyze and problem solve. So pay attention! Today we will learn how in a mere couple of centuries, early computers transitioned with the help of technological advancements. The computer was born not for email or video games, but rather out of a need to solve an 1800 number crunching crisis. Population got so out of hand in the United States back then that it became increasingly difficult to keep track of it through a consensus process that took years and years to complete. Finally, some dude decided that he had enough of this old laborious process and he wanted to make a machine that did all the heavy lifting for you. Meet Herman Hollerith. Hollerith designed a punch card system, accomplishing the task of calculating the 1880 consensus in just 3 years, saving the government over $5 million. The government's want for efficiency led to these punch card-based computers that took up entire rooms just to do basic calculations, but now it fits in the palm of our hand. The search for more efficient calculating methods lingered in the minds of American scientists, starting with this guy, Alan Turing. He first invented the central concept of a computer being a machine that's capable of computing anything that's computable. During the last 2 years of World War II is when things really started to take off, as 2 University of Pennsylvania professors, John Mauchly and J. Presper Eckert, built what is considered the grandfather of digital computers, the ENIAC, the first general-purpose electronic digital computer, which filled a 20-foot by 40-foot room with over 18K vacuum tubes. There's also the Colossus, developed by British codebreakers and is the first programmable electronic computer, was also used at this time to break Lorenz ciphers used by the Nazis. Many computer development milestones continue to roll out over the next few years. I'm talking about how Grace Hopper developed one of the first high-level programming languages created in 1953 known as COBOL. And speaking of her, let's go to Thought Bubble. Admiral Grace Hopper was an American computer scientist and United States Navy Rear Admiral during World War II, when she was assigned to program the Mark I computer. After the war, she continued to work in computing, leading the team that created the first computer language compiler, which led to the popular COBOL language. In 1947, a Harvard technical team working on the Mark II computer looked at Panel F and found something unusual stuck in one of the components. It turned out to be a moth, which they removed and taped in the logbook, with Grace Hopper adding the caption, "First actual case of bug being found." I just think this instance is funnily ironic. I mean, like, an actual bug. And the words bug and debug soon became a standard part of the lingo of computer programmers. Thanks, Thought Bubble. As I was saying, things would just keep getting crazier. For example, in 1958, the first computer chip was invented by these two nerds, Jack Kilby and Robert Noyce, who actually later went on to win a Nobel Prize in Physics for their amazing contribution to the development of these machines. But nothing will top what happened in 1964 when Douglas Engelbart introduced a prototype of the modern computer with a mouse and graphical user interface. This marks the evolution of the computer from a specialized machine for scientists and mathematicians to technology that's more accessible for the general public. A major shift in 1964 tech allowed for a more widespread consumer use of computers due to a new user interfaces that were easier to use. One of the big computer competitors of today began in 1976 when Steve Wozniak developed the Apple I as the first personal computer. However, Steve Jobs was the one with the idea to make some moolah off of it. It was Apple's first product when it demoed at the Homebrew Computer Club in Palo Alto. Later, it went on sale for this price, after being marked up from 1/3 of the original selling price of $500. I know that seems like a sketchy price, but hey, something worked out for them. However, it would still be a long way before it'd be a working computer. It still needed a case, power supply, keyboard, and display. The Apple I was actually the first computer to use a keyboard and had a built-in terminal circuitry. A year later, the Apple II was introduced. practically identical to the Apple I. The main differences were the improved overall quality plus an added built-in keyboard. It became the first mass-produced microcomputers and was one of the first home computers on the market. And as you're aware, skyrocketed this small company started in a garage to one of the most recognizable and successful corporations. As computers started to become smaller, portable, and affordable, the culture of technology began to shape up what it is today due to these devices. So much happened in the last 10 years since this video was uploaded that changed our world forever, starting with the creation of everyone's favorite web browser that's not Bing, but the one and only Google. Following this burst of innovation came along many additions to our new computer culture, including the emergence of YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, things we love and enjoy, maybe a bit too much, all developed from computers. Technology began to flourish with innovation after innovation, and just to rapid fire a few. In 2001, Apple and Microsoft unveiled both their new operating systems to compete with each other, that being the Mac OS X versus Windows XP. In 2006, Apple introduces the MacBook Pro. 2007, the first iPhone hits the market, bringing many computer functions to the smartphone. 2009, Microsoft launches Windows 7. 2010, Apple unveils the iPad, changing the way consumers view media and jump-starting the rise of tablets. In 2015, Apple releases the Apple Watch, while Microsoft releases Windows 10. What's that, Justin? It's time for the mystery artifact! The rules here are simple. I analyze and attempt to identify the mystery artifact. If I'm right, I do not get shocked by this shock pen, and if I'm wrong, I do. Okay, what do we have here? Okay. Right. Okay, Justin, I'm actually pretty confident here, and I believe it is an Apple II. Yes, okay. Wait, do I still have to get shocked by the shock pen? What? Ah! As you can see, computers have severely impacted our lives. We'll probably end up glued to our screens like the humans in WALL-E, but I mean, let's face it, without our devices, we'd probably all be hopelessly lost without them. Crash Course is produced and directed by our whole team. Our camera operator and editor is Justin Alagon. Our script supervisors are Justin and myself, and our research leads are Ciara Walton and Lexi Nelson. The show is written by my entire high school computer science group, Ciara, Lexi, Justin, and myself, and our graphics team is Thought Bubble. If you have questions about today's video, you should ask them in the comments. Everyone who works on this crash course, as well as a team of Google searches, will be there to answer them. Thanks for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed to Crash Course, and as we say in my hometown, don't forget to be awesome.